Well, you know what? Raptors take care of business at home at the Air Canada Centre, 112-101 against the Orlando Magic. Now won 3 straight games, and they're playing some pretty good basketball as of late. But a few things to, kind of keep your mind on. Fred VanVleet leaves the game with back tightness early. Again, I'm hoping it's not too severe. I think we're all hoping it's not too severe. Doesn't sound too bad, but I think precautionary reasons, he's probably not going to play the last 2 games of the season. Lucas Nogueira also leaves the game early with a hamstring injury. Again, not too sure how serious of an injury that will be. But again, it'll be reevaluated. We'll be hearing things over the last few days on what their status is and all that kind of stuff heading into the playoffs in the last 2 games of the season. DeMar DeRozan and Jonas Valanciunas do not play today for rest, of course. And I gotta say, as much as JV not in the lineup, he looked dapper. I mean, the suit he's wearing with the nice-looking bow tie, looking real good there, big man. Loving what I'm seeing there from JV. Obviously, you're playing a down team in the Orlando Magic. You've locked up first in the Eastern Conference. You can't go up or down anywhere. So, yeah. You're resting 2 of your big players, and I'm assuming on a back-to-back tomorrow in Detroit, I'm assuming that Lowry and Ibaka are probably going to be sitting, and DeRozan and JV back in the lineup. That only makes sense. But the Raptors, like I said, let's break this baby down first before we start talking about the next game. Raptors shoot 50% from the field today. Great job. 17 for 40 from 3. 42%. We'll get to who looked fantastic in that sense later on here. 71% from the free throw line. 17 to 24. Out-rebounded the Magic by 5. 47-42. That is without JV and Lucas Nogueira for most of this one. Great job there. The offensive glass, 6 apiece. And the assist numbers, again, without DeMar in the lineup, you still rack up 28 assists. That tells you how good this team is when it comes to moving the basketball. But the one thing, if I'm going to find one thing that I didn't like about today, 17 turnovers. Way too many. But you're facing a down team in Orlando, they're not going to kill you as much. And it really doesn't matter. But this is where you want to kind of fine-tune things heading into the playoffs. As for the specific players, the starting lineup looked weird. Well, a lot different than we're used to, obviously. Obviously, Lowry and Ibaka, your mainstays, and OG Anunoby in the starting lineup as usual. Norman Powell gets the start, and Lucas Nogueira, like I said, he gets the start, but he leaves the game early. OG was fantastic. He was fantastic. 21 points, 8 rebounds, and a block for OG. 7 of 10 shooting, 2 of 3 from the free throw line, and 5 of 8 from 3. He was great. That is so nice to see OG finding some mojo. He did play 34 minutes, but why not? Really, why not? And he made his minutes count. He was great out there. Serge Ibaka, we've gotten used to him in double figures. 13 points, 8 rebounds, 3 blocks, 6 of 11 shooting, and 1 of 2 from 3, and a plus 22 while Ibaka was on the floor. Norman Powell, great to see him getting mojo heading into the playoffs. Played 24 minutes, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals on 5 of 11 shooting, 3 of 7 from 3. Great to see Norman Powell because we know how much of a big impact he will be in the playoffs. And have him feeling good, in the final stretch of the season, that would be great. It would be fantastic to see him get in every single game and get in double figures and shoot well and look good defensively and get him feeling great heading into the playoffs. That's exactly what you want to see. Lowry didn't shoot the ball the greatest, 11 points and 3 of 10 shooting, but he did have 7 assists. And the one play I want to talk about when it comes to Kyle, that nasty move on Hezonja. Oh my god. The spin move to kind of get the drive and then knock down the and one while he's on his rear, just about, while he's on his way down. Great play there by Kyle Lowry. And DeLon Wright played 27 minutes. Pirtle 24. Miles with 24 minutes. And here we go. DeLon Wright with 12. Pirtle with 12. And CJ Miles finally. Now I know it's Orlando, so don't go crazy saying, oh, you can knock down some threes against Orlando. Why can't you do it against Boston or anybody else? Look, relax, okay? He hasn't knocked down threes against anybody as of late. And it is so great. CJ Miles with 22 on 6 of 13 shooting, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, and 5 of 10 from 3, and a plus 22 while he is on the floor. Great to see. So today is it's like a weird one. You have two guys leave the game with apparent injury. Well, back tightness for Freddie. I'm hoping it doesn't turn out to be anything serious. Lucas Nogueira, obviously, with a hamstring, as we said earlier. So that's not the great news. But you saw OG, Norman Powell, and CJ all get in double figures and all shoot pretty good percentages. I love it. I love it. You know, the way this team is built, it's a depth team. You know what DeRozan and Lowry are going to do on the offensive floor. You know they're also going to move the basketball quite a bit. But what are you going to get from Ibaka? What are you going to get from OG? What is your bench going to give you? And they do their job tonight. I mean, you know, like I said, Pirtle with 12, Miles with 22, and DeLon Wright with 12. Terrific oh my goodness. Terrific basketball by the Toronto Raptors in this one as they come away with the victory. Obviously, the 17 turnovers is the one thing we look at and go, maybe not so much. But Pirtle had 4 turnovers. I'm kind of going through this here. Yeah, a lot of people had turnovers in this one. But you know what? In the end, it doesn't really matter. We want it cleaned up heading into the playoffs. That's for sure. And the Raptors, they can't dwell on this because they play tomorrow night in Detroit. They're probably already there at Air Canada West there in Detroit. Like I said earlier, we're probably going to see Ibaka and Lowry sit out. DeRozan and JV are probably going to get back in the lineup. Hopefully we hear some great news when it comes to Bebe and Fred VanVleet, of course. You want to hear some positives? You know, guys, we are 2 games away from the playoffs. I'm hyped. I know you guys are. We have 2 games remaining, both on the road, in Detroit, in Miami. I'm going to guess what Coach Casey's thinking. I've already broke down what I think is going to happen tomorrow when it comes to people resting. And I think all the guys are going to be playing against Miami because you might want to get them in-game action there in the last game of the year. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but that's just my opinion there. And standings-wise, we still have no clue who we're facing in round 1. 6, 7, 8 are all tight. Miami's 6th with a record of 43 and 37. Milwaukee's 7th with the identical record. And then there's Washington in 8th place, and I don't know if I want to see them. Do you guys? We know what they did against the playoffs. I mean, they were a much better team back then, of course, but do you count out John Wall and Bradley Beal and then Kelly Oubre and Otto Porter and all those? Do you really count them out? I don't know. It's going to be a fight no matter what team you're facing. It's going to be a lot of fun. Who would you guys rather face? Comment down below what you guys are thinking when it comes to that. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. You guys enjoyed this video and you guys enjoyed this game, smack that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below. Who's your MVP in this game? Would you give it to Miles for the big performance, OG for the big performance, Norman Powell for looking real good out there? I want to hear what you guys have to say, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow, podcast edition, as Evan and I will be breaking down the Leafs, Raptors, Jays, and a link is in the description for the podcast channel and for the podcast itself on iTunes. A link is down there in the description, guys. Go check that out. And we'll talk to you guys Leafs edition tomorrow. As the Leafs, we know who they're playing in round 1, the Boston Bruins. Bittersweet. I didn't know if I wanted to face Boston. They have not played well down the stretch. They're still a scary team. But we know who we're facing, and it's going to be a dogfight. Round 1 preview. Leafs, Bruins, that'll be tomorrow. Not sure exactly what time tomorrow, maybe tomorrow night. We got a lot of games tomorrow. We got the Raptors, we got the Blue Jays, and we got a round 1 preview coming out to you guys. In that video, I will be telling you guys what games I am interested in heading down to Jurassic Park and Maple Leaf Square for the Leafs playoffs, because we'll talk about the Raptors in round 1 for them. What games I'll be interested in going down to Maple Leaf Square for, I'll keep you guys posted on there. Also, if you guys are interested, DM me on Twitter. The link is in the description for my Twitter. If not, if you don't have Twitter, comment in the comments below, guys, if you guys are interested in that. And we'll talk to you guys, like I said, Leafs edition tomorrow. We'll talk to you guys Jays edition tomorrow as they start off a 3-game series against the Baltimore Orioles at Camden Yards. Jay Happ versus Dylan Bundy is the Game 1 matchup. It's going to be one heck of a series. Obviously, Baltimore and the Blue Jays obviously have a crazy history. Jose Bautista obviously isn't around. And we're so used to seeing him with the Blue Jays, but that is not going to be happening now. Jays look to win their second straight game, looking to start this 3-game series on the right note with a victory. And as for the Raptors, we'll talk to you guys tomorrow night as they are in Detroit, taking on the Pistons, looking for their 4th straight win them back-to-back, heading into your last game of the season, Wednesday, against Miami. So we'll talk to you guys tomorrow night.